The implementation of National Policy on Education 1986 was evaluated by two committees, namely the Ramamurthy Committee and the Janardhan Reddy Committee. As a result of the recommendations of these two committees, slight modifications were made in the NPE in 1992. Now we will discuss about Ramamurthy Review Committee report. Despite efforts at social and economic development, a majority of our people continue to remain deprived of the education, which is one of the basic needs for human development. Government accords the highest priority to education both as human right and as means for bringing about a transformation towards a more human and enlightened society. The National Policy on Education 1986 would enable the country to move towards the perspective of education. The government therefore decided to set up the NPE Review Committee. The committee for review is popularly known as Ramamurthy Review Committee, after the name Acharya Ramamurthy, the chairman of the committee. The committee was appointed on May 7, 1990, and the report was tabled in the Parliament on January 9, 1991. The approach of the committee in reviewing the NPE 1986 and its implementation has been guided by the following concerns, that is, equity and social justice, decentralization of educational management at all levels, establishment of a participative educational order, inculcation of values indispensable for creation of an enlightened and human society. Some of the major recommendations of this committee are development of a common school system. A very vital component for securing equity and social justice in education is the functioning of a common school system. In order to achieve this objective, the existing government schools and schools aided by local bodies have to be transformed through quality improvement into genuine neighborhood schools. The second one is removing disparities in education. The rural areas in general and the tribal areas in particular have suffered in terms of resources, personnel and infrastructure facilities. Therefore, the need of the hour is planning for and implementation of an educational development programs in terms of disintegrated targets, area, community and gender specific activities. The third one is promotion of women education. In order to promote participation of the girls and women in education at all levels, there is a need for an integrated approach in designing and implementing the schemes that would address all the factors that inhibit their education. The fourth one is value education. Value education is to be conceived as a continuous process. Value education should ensure that education does not alienate the student from the family, community and life. Fifth one is early childhood care and education. The scope of the constitutional directive, that is Article 45, should be enlarged to include ECCE. The sixth one is right to education. The right to education should be examined for inclusion among the fundamental rights. Operation Blackboard. The state government should develop all decision-making power concerning Operation Blackboard for planning and implementing the scheme. Navodaya Vidyalayas. The committee recommended that the government may take an appropriate decision from out of the following three alternatives. That is, no further Navodaya Vidyalayas need to be opened. The existing 261 Navodaya Vidyalayas may be restructured and continued with provision of adequate resources. All the existing 261 Navodaya Vidyalayas may be transferred to the state sector for the states to run them as a residential centers on the Andhra Pradesh model. The Navodaya Vidyalaya scheme may be transformed into a Navodaya Vidyalaya program of broad-based talent nurturing and pace setting. A day school each under the common school system can function in the premise of Navodaya Vidyalayas. Work experience or socially useful productive work should be integrally linked with various subjects both at the level of content and pedagogy. Resources for education. The first step should be to provide for at least 6% of the gross national product for education. All technical and professional education should be made self-financing. Now try this.